So the episode opens with Penelope Thomas Bailey saying he's got beef with Wendy. Why do you always have beef with the woman? You need to start eating chicken. You need to get pescatarian. I could see why they're friends with Penelope Thomas Bailey because scammer attracts scammer. And you know Penelope always be in the strip club. With Gabrice and Ashley's getting new messages from old suitors. And we know with her, they real old. Coot. Oh, and she's got an offer accepted on her new $1.7 million home. You better run Michael's pockets. Girl, you gonna withdraw your offer over a month? You better stay in a hotel, motel, Holiday Inn. However, now Michael has put his butt on his shoulders and spread his cheeks. And Rob and Giselle are like, well, yeah, this is, a divorce. But y'all got divorced from men that didn't want to be bothered with you. Ashley's man actually cared. I don't think Michael is concerned about Ashley being with another man, Rob Dixon. Michael fills his head with thoughts of being with another man himself. What janky house is this? They got water pipes overhead. They couldn't put no sheetrock over that. You just got pipes overhead? That's something you see in a basement apartment in Brooklyn, not a mansion in Miami. Oh, hell no. Jacqueline out here using other people's deodorants and razors? Oh, Lord. Now, Mia, how you gonna tell Charisse she can't get into a quality hotel? Is there like a convention or something this weekend? I don't know why it was even hard for you to get that house, Mia. It's, it looks cute, but it looks cute from the outside, and yes, on the bay. I mean, not the ocean, but the bay. But there's still a water feature. However, you've got exposed pipes and not even enough room for everybody. Look like you got it on sale. With Karen and Wendy, Karen's like, I'm going to enjoy this trip. I'm going to enjoy my birthday, but I ain't participating in the bull, and I'm with her. I ain't been friends with Charisse in 5 years and not trying to pick it up now. Karen, you sounded too much like a hit dog hollering with this Charisse questionable behavior just because she said you was cheating on your coot. Don't get mad at the truth. It seems like a nerve was touched because you ain't letting it go. Giselle, why are you so worried about Ashley moistening her DMs with her TikTok dancing when your DMs are as dry as the Sahara? Mia comes downstairs and starts whining about her friend Jackie who ain't bring nothing on this trip. And the thing is, she's just used to sharing is caring like they were back in their stripper days. They would always share deodorant, makeup, tampon. That's what you do. You're in the trenches. But Mia tells the girls, we're heading to Ball 1 Miami tonight. I don't know if I trust they fish. Peter don't be paying people on time. That stuff might be spoiled. Now Mia gonna say, I heard Penelope has beef with Wendy. You didn't hear it. You begged for Peter to tell you all the nasty details. Giselle said, well, I heard that Wendy did research to find out what she and Peter had in common so she could hit him with the plot line. She ain't have to do research for that. She know he desperate, you know he desperate, I know he desperate. He'll do anything for camera time. Even show his cervix for a quarter. I'm surprised he ain't got an OnlyFans. Oh, hell no. So now Peter said, oh, I was just playing along with Wendy to get camera time because we know you don't have the 70% of the 1.3 million you were asking Wendy for. Y'all just like to say large numbers because they feel good in your mouth. You like to say $800,000, $400,000. You ain't got it, but it makes you feel rich in your mouth. Not in your pocket, but your mouth. What? Wait, Giselle said you don't have no money, Wendy? Giselle, the same woman that would call the bank on the first of the month when Jamal's child support was late? The same woman who lives in an unfinished bond. You gonna say Wendy ain't got no money? Neither do you. So broke, recognize broke. Giselle gonna mock Wendy and say, I want to go into business with you, Peter. But Giselle, people went into business with you with every hue that is now nowhere. The only person you could partner up with was sorry Rob Dixon. So we all gather in the kitchen and Mia asks, does a frog have a watertight bussy hole? Well, I imagine if people do and all other animals do, a frog wouldn't. Like there's no animal that can't go in the water because all the water's gonna seep in their butt or their pee hole. So the ladies call their cars and head to dinner. In one car, we have Mia, Karen, Wendy, and Jacqueline. And they get to talk about Charisse. And Karen says, I'm willing to listen to what she has to say. No, you ain't, Heifer. No, you ain't. You just saying that for the camera. Mia is tired of her theatrics about her accommodations. And I feel like, okay, if you that rich, go stay in a presidential suite at a hotel. Get your Nene on. Mia says, I can see why you don't mess with Charisse, Karen, because she's just so much drama. Well, sadly, Mia, you're not, which makes you boring on this show. The most interesting part of you are your large feet because we finally have concurrent Bigfoot sightings. Mia said, look, you had a bed. Candace ain't even got that. She couch surfing. Oh, but over with Rob, Gabrisi, and Ashley, they're talking about reasonably shady. Well, in this case, reasonably shitty, because we're talking about women who don't go number 2 in front of their husband. Child, I knew I was in a real long-term relationship when my man shat in front of me. I mean, just the door was open. Like, he didn't even try to close the door. He just went to the bathroom in front like it was nothing. And I was like, I guess this is love, but you could close the door. Cherie said, I ain't never pooped in front of my husband either. That's why you're married. Cherie said, I ain't never pooped in front of my husband either. That's why your marriage ended. You was holding in too much gas. You see, that's why we have that expression, you've got a stick up your butt. And you seem like you have a stick up your butt, even though you have such poor posture. But if you can't be real and poop around your man, child, that ain't your man. I couldn't imagine being in a relationship where I'm that concerned that when you hear my splatter and fart, you're gonna run. Child, we all human, it all happens. I mean, Charisse, couldn't you understand that holding in 10 years worth of farts will make you unpleasant and disagreeable? That's why your face always looks like something stank. It's you. Your farts are coming out your mouth. I can't believe I have to respect Giselle saying, look, if I have to fart, I'm a fart. Now, Rob just said, I still walk around naked around my kids. I would say the first few months, yeah, it's bath time. You gonna take a bath, I'm gonna take a bath. They eating off the titties, so it's like they was already eating. I feel like the age to stop doing that is when they can recognize, like, oh, that's different. But that's just me. Let me know when it's appropriate to stop that in the comments. From my parents out there, let me know, because I'm sure that does happen. You ain't getting dressed up for a baby. She said Corey's 14. That's when you need to be dressed around your kids. Child, Ashley said, my mama still getting naked around us. Everybody else has different boundaries. I couldn't do it. On today's episode of You Don't Need to See My Penis at That Age. So we arrive at Bar 1 Miami. And Wendy don't want to talk about nothing work, but you just had him shooting scenes with you so you could have something to talk about other than your husband in those medium outfits. I mean, they rolled tape and gave us that beautiful bean footage. Ooh, I need to get baked beans for Thanksgiving. But Ashley, good and darn well, that you went after Chris because everyone's gone after Michael, like Michael has gone after everyone's anus. And then you hit her with do you just want to turn a blind eye? Now look, because you enjoy turning a blind eye, don't mean everybody else have to. You sweep around your own front yard on that one. Just because you don't mind your man's other mates, don't mean that's everybody else's merge. Ashley said, look, you don't like it when the mirror is held up to your face, and if that makes me vindictive, then so be it. Oh, so now all of a sudden Chris is grabbing Bussy. Don't grab my bussy, don't grab my bussy, but he can cook, so go on, get your handful. I let him grab. Would I let Chris grab my bussy if he was gay? If he was gay, yes. If he was gay, yes. Like, I ain't gonna mess up Candace's home. But if he was gay, yeah, I'd let him grab it. If the man can cook, I'm interested. Ash is like, look, I ain't never said he was rubbing butt. I just said he leaned in. Please, that was a drunk lean. That wasn't a I want you lean. However, Giselle decides to stir the turd by congratulating Karen and Charisse on speaking at the airport. Child, that was a tight teeth. How you doing? Oh, But now Charisse throw Wendy up under the bus saying, well, you told me that Karen was coming from a bad place. Now, see, Charisse, this is why you off the show. This is why nobody want to mess with you, because you don't know how and when to throw people under the bus. You need to be walking on eggshells right now, giving every P and every Q. Of course, not every hue, because it's nowhere. However, you're also weak because you won't really try to confront Karen. You're going to go after the new girl. You're going after the easy picking, the easy prey, although Wendy will get you together. Yep, call it Wendy. She's trying to deflect. She's trying to create a plot line where there ain't one. Oh, Wendy said, are you scared of Karen? Are you scared of her? She is, because Karen has something that Charisse doesn't. Charisma. Oh, she said you were just in the car, Mia, saying, I understand why Karen don't mess with Charisse. So if we're going to talk about hypocrisy, let's talk about it all. Oh, God. Robin said she wasn't being theatrical about the room situation. She had 0 bathrooms. How many bathrooms are you supposed to have in a vacation rental when you sharing it with other people? I think 1 would be the most, and you're probably going to share. Because ain't nobody really trying to spin. But now we get to Charisse and Karen, and Charisse said, well, I just wanted to have a lunch to see what your issue is with me. Karen said, well, I've just evolved. I'm not the same heifer. You, however, are. Oh, Charisse, you were trying to get a moment out of Karen, and she ain't gonna give it to you. Charisse gonna say, well, how can we move forward when I don't know what the issue is? Karen said, well, I did it 5 years ago. It was easy for me. If Karen's been avoiding you since day 1, why are you trying to get up this heifer's cooch? But then you're gonna say, well, I know all of her secrets. Who wants to be around somebody like that? My friends know my business, but guess what? They don't tell it. And they don't ever threaten to tell it, which is why I tell them my business and why they tell me theirs. That ain't a friend, heifer. Oh! Karen said, you ain't called me in 5 years, heifer. So why now? Because she needs a plot line, and nobody calls her party line. Child, Karen cut Charisse off with a prayer and happy birthday song. She said, I'm gonna give you this right here. Gabrice, you want her to explain the issue with Charisse so you have a reason to talk about her mister. Meanwhile, you couldn't worry about Jamal's mistresses. But here comes Penelope Thomas Bailey to join the ladies. And he first saunters up to Wendy and give her a hug. You wouldn't call me. She ain't got a reason to. Your scene had been shot. Your plot line had passed. So everybody thought Penelope was going to come over and give attitude, but she decided to cut it cute and cordial. I guess she's becoming more of a grown woman now. However, Mia's like, I'm gonna need to stir the turd a bit more, so she runs over to beg him to tell her what the beef is. Giselle tells Karen, I just want you, Charisse, to get to a better place. Why don't you take yourself to a better place first? Why don't you and Jamal get into a better place? No, of course not. So Charisse go with her and she tell Peter she's looking into doing a lounge, a champagne lounge. Who really wants to go somewhere and hang out with Charisse? I mean, yeah, you had that little champagne room in your house, but it wasn't that impressive. Oh, God, Peter gonna say she came to my restaurant in my city and she didn't check in with me. She ain't gotta check in with you, fool. She didn't want to waste time or breath talking to you because she knew she didn't have the $300,000 and she knew you didn't have the $1.2 million to make this idea anything more than a brainchild. Mia, why are you concerned about Wendy's business with Peter? When your spas are getting shut down, you've got time for someone other, for the financial woes of others when you're about to get put out, when your income security has been called into question. You're gonna say if you don't have the money, say that, well, we know you ain't got the money because your family done bamboozled you out of it. Wendy's just said that she's coming to her own and she's trying to figure out what she wants to do, so she's dabbling in different things at the moment. Why you gonna berate her for that, Mia? You decided early in life to be a hoe and you stuck with it. Wendy wants to try out different paths. Don't judge her for that. However, Jacqueline at the table saying, with me if we met as adult, but since we came up through the strip club together, that's my day one. But Mia gets back to the table and decides to put Wendy on blast, telling the table about her FaceTime conversation with Penelope Thomas Bailey. Just after the episode, okay? Stay down after the episode. Oh! Now the green-eyed bandits are asking, what's the beef about? Wendy says, I don't have beef with men, so I don't know what you talk. And Mia says, Wendy, don't start it. That's my friend. He's family. She said if he have beef, he can call my husband. In the confessional, Wendy's like, hold on, this was a contract for review, not for signature. Mia, how you gonna tell Wendy that she has to get past checking in because she a friend with Penelope Thomas when she coming to town, when you also say there are no feelings in business, so he shouldn't have any feelings about her not calling when there wasn't any business to do. Oh, ha, ha. So Mia gets upset that Wendy keeps bringing up her husband. And Wendy's like, look, maybe you and your man play like that. I don't play like that. Stop telling me how to be. She said, why am I telling him I'm in town when I'm not in town for business? And Mia hits it with the baptism. Baptism. Ashley getting up, too close to me, too close to me. Child security then came in. You are not going to talk about my husband and how we operate now. Mia, if you weren't throwing around all these threesome illusions, I could agree with you. But you play with your marriage for a plot line, so Wendy can do it too. Mia's telling Wendy to get out. And of course, Rob says this is very antagonistic, but Mia was the one antagonizing. Mia was the one starting the mess. And Rob Dixon is TMZ right now. But Wendy peeved and she's like, look, just because you and your man mess with other women and men, don't mean you can come for my merge. You know what, Wendy? You kept it cool, continuing to cuss out even after your baptism. What boss throws drinks? What boss indeed? Rob gonna say if you want to fight, then fight. Well, you see, Mia wants to have an altercation while Wendy's doing a battle of words and wits. A battle that Mia is unequipped for. Wendy said, oh, you gonna throw a drink on Mia over Penelope Thomas because you're humping him? Now, Wendy, I will say you really getting bucked when you got security there to keep Mia off you. Mia, nobody came for your husband. Well, except for Jacqueline, I'm sure she has. Rob really gonna say, well, I'm not saying it was right for her to throw the drink on you, but you were antagonizing. You kept talking and talking and talking. Rob, don't nobody shut you up, so why Wendy gotta be quiet? So Karen's trying to not take sides. Mia's pressuring her to defend her against Wendy. And Karen's like, look, two wrongs don't make a right. You were both out of line. However, Giselle gonna say, you're humping the fence. Be a friend to somebody. Giselle, why don't you try being a friend to yourself? Now, Wendy, you can't be getting this book. You got one more time to put your hand in my face. She already put her alcohol in your face, Heifer. You've already been embarrassed. Take your lick. I let you slide with the drink. Uh-oh, well, you might be getting the bop you asked for. This looks like we might need to see it in slow-mo. A good skirmish. Oh, now you really trying to bust through security to get to Mia. She gonna stump you with her size 18s. Oh, God. Karen gonna say, I got injured. I have whiplash. You have whiplash because you always putting your nose in somebody else's business. Wendy, this is a good point. What kind of woman throws a drink on another woman for not calling a man neither one of them in a relationship with? What sense does that make? Now, I like the way Wendy is getting back at Mia. She's like, I'm not letting you go. I'm going to yell at you. I'm going to cuss you out. Child, she was trying to get Mia to get kicked off the show. She was like, I'm going to keep pushing you until you throw your purse, which she did. And Wendy was able to dodge, but yeah, Mia, you could push her. Wendy said, I'm going to get you to keep embarrassing yourself. And I ain't mad. Wendy's like, oh, look at you, CEO. I mean, Wendy is now taunting Mia. Look at the CEO and the businesswoman. She got you to show your card. We're peeking at your cervix and didn't even pay 25 cents. Her friend said, you a big girl to be doing that. Oh, now it's let it go. Wendy, hold on to it. Dig your teeth in. Rob, shut the F up. Mia already threw a drink on this woman for not calling Penelope Thomas Bailey. And now that she's embarrassed and Wendy done got the best of her, it's you antagonized to the nth degree. Sorry, you can't get mad when you start a fight and the finish don't go your way. Wendy said if she throws bags and drinks, that's on her because she's violent. So Mia called her man and asked for a flight. So, of course, Rob comes out to comfort Mia and tells her she ain't leaving. Mia, you done messed up your nails that bad and you ain't even land a bop. Pathetic. Oh, God, Rob gonna say she was baiting you and you did exactly what she wanted and she wasn't smart enough to see that trap coming. So she's the fool. Everybody plays the fool. Ain't no exception to that rule. Mia, Wendy did not get you to a place where you felt you had to defend yourself physically. She barely mentioned your husband, didn't talk about your kids. She just said, why do I have to check in? Because you want to. She wouldn't let you start the shit you wanted to start. True. Wendy said, look, I didn't start cussing out your husband till you threw the drink on me. Then all bets were off. But I still use my words. You couldn't even use your nails. Now, Karen, stop stirring the turd. Don't ask if it was true or not, because we know it is. Oh, God. So Giselle's going to say, well, Mia's not doing well at all, and she's going to figure out herself over the next couple of days. But you sure couldn't give that grace to Monique. When Candace antagonized her, oh, no, we can't recognize antagonization then, only when Wendy does it. Oh! Wendy said, and I'm out because I'm not going to listen to Mia empathizers, especially when this heifer tried to whoop my butt twice. Oh! Wendy said when this happened with Momo, she was all anti-violence, but oh now. And that was the shit. I don't know why everybody was so mad at Rob. I mean, she was definitely the peanut gallery, but she's always been the peanut gallery.